Good afternoon. Welcome to Who's Tom and Dick? With your hosts, Martin Weavers and Patrick Mortimer.
Hey, we're back again, Martin.
Oh, yeah, and I'm all excited.
January the 19th, 2024.
Where's the year gone already?
I know, look at the weather outside, bright and sunny.
Yeah,
crisp.
it is.
Blooming cold, though, isn't it?
I know.
I got me winter warmers on.
Not as cold as some people, probably in America where they're listening.
Well,
but,
no, we're wincing compared with that, I reckon. But
yeah.
Still pretty cold. Anyway, how are you? How's things been?
Yeah, my health is in itself is fine.
That reminds me, your big toe. How's your big toe going?
The toe is progressing. I went to see my oncologist the other day for my regular checkup.
Did you tell him you stubbed it in the dark?
Well, he came to see me originally when I first had the first X-ray.
No, I meant you got out of bed and stubbed it in the dark, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, of course I did. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, one night, everybody, I was just going to the loo because being the age I am, I have to go to the loo in the middle of the night now. But anyway, I was on my way and I normally feel around the bedroom like you do. Just, there's a wardrobe there, there's this, that, everything. And I thought I'd done it, but I misjudged it and bang, I kicked my toe. And well, I tell you what, I didn't realise I actually knew so many swear words. I woke Linny up.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, which I thought was going to set it back.
Yeah.
But,
so what's the progress?
Well, it's good news. I mean, it's still sore and I can bend it, but I'm not wearing that shoe anymore.
Good.
And I can now go back on my loratinib.
Oh, brilliant.
Cancer
Excellent.
tablets, which is the best. I think that was good news for the year so far.
Most definitely.
It's about the only good news we've had.
Yeah.
So what about you, Patrick? How did you...
Well, I had a wonderful Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
All kicked off with COVID. Yeah, I tested positive just before Bloomin' Christmas and spent 6 days in bed absolutely well, I can't use the words, can I? Because
No.
we are clean and we do tick that box. But yeah, I was absolutely shattered for 6 days and Wendy locked me in the bedroom, wouldn't let me out. She didn't want it.
No.
So eventually, getting over that, we managed to celebrate Christmas Day.
Well, I'm a bit worried.
Why?
And the reason I'm worried is because you had it and then suddenly you've got rid of it and you've given it to my wife.
Oh, no.
She's at 14 days. She had COVID
Really?
for.
Really?
Yeah, but...
So what have you had to do to isolate yourself from that?
Well, I'm very, very lucky. My daughter runs a luxury spa.
Oh.
And it's not just a spa, it's a luxury spa.
Oh.
And if you went there, I'm going to take you there one day, aren't I?
Yeah.
You will realise how luxurious it is. And on the side of it, it's not only got like the swimming pool and the spa bath and the saunas and all that. It's got a bedroom. And it's on Airbnb. They do a bed and breakfast.
Oh, right, okay.
So you could hire the place for 2 adults who can sleep in a big 4-poster bed, and upstairs there's 2 more beds for the kids. So and there's facilities to make 2 more, so you could have 6 upstairs,
Yeah.
and 2 adults downstairs. But
Is this turning into a promotion?
it is a little bit. but anyway,
what point are you trying to get to?
the point is that is where I'm staying.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
how good is that?
Family rates?
And I don't want to go back home now. No, of course I do. I can't.
Does that come with evening bread and breakfast?
It comes with a tin of soup sometimes, the chunky one with a bit of bread. That's what I'm doing myself for tea at the moment.
Right, okay.
Or a takeaway.
Yeah.
But no, it's lovely. But I can't thank my daughter enough.
Oh, good. So you're on the road to recovery, hopefully, and back on the tablets, which is good news.
Yeah, that's out of everything, that is the most important thing for the year. As I say, the bad news is my wife getting the
COVID, yeah.
all for a fortnight in the first part of the year.
Yeah, yeah. So when will your next scan be then? Now you're back on the drugs, so to speak.
It should have been about 2 weeks' time, but because I've been off the tablets, what the doctor, the oncologist said, we'll do it in a couple of months.
Yeah.
Because let the tablets get back to doing what they were doing before I stopped. And I'm thinking positive that it hasn't grown again, and then it's just continuing to do its the jolly good work it was doing.
Yeah. Good.
So
can't see any reason why not.
No, in myself, as I say, I feel fine. So yeah,
Excellent.
been doing lots of work on the podcast and things like that. So
Yep. Yep. Did you meet the challenge? You had a challenge.
I know.
Another challenge, didn't I?
You did, yeah.
Can you remember what it was even?
Yes, I can remember.
Okay.
We was talking about Tom Lockier, footballer.
Who played for Luton Town.
That's right.
Yeah.
And a quick update.
Well, he had a cardiac arrest on the pitch, didn't he? Game was cancelled and postponed. Fans sent home, and he went into hospital. And the good news is he's making a good recovery now. So he's up and about, and don't know whether he'll get back to football again yet. Too early to say, but we'll find out.
But I had that bee in my bonnet about all that, didn't I? I remember when I said about I don't think it's right that they should just lay on the pitch, and I wrote to the FA.
Right.
And I'm still to hear a reply from the FA.
Yeah.
At least you'd have thought they'd have acknowledged to say, yes, we could possibly be looking into this.
Perhaps you should give Gary Lineker a call.
Yeah. Or
Alan Shearer.
Yeah.
They might have some clout.
I think Gary Lineker's finishing at the end of the season. So,
okay.
And for those of you who don't know who Gary Lineker is, he's the chairman, not the chairman.
The host.
The host.
Match of the Day. Come on, Martin, spit words out. You're
the
struggling
host
today.
of Match of the Day, yeah. Well, he is a man and he's in a chair.
And he was an England international football player.
He was. He scored a lot of goals for England. He was...
We're boring our audience now, mate. So come on, press on. You've got something about the doctors, haven't you?
I have, because we was talking and saying about the doctor being, on hand. Then we said, well, unless there isn't a doctor on hand, didn't we? So I done some research, and I'm very, very lucky that I know a couple of people who are involved with different football clubs. One's involved with a Premiership team, and the other with EFL teams, although she has just been promoted to a team in the Premiership. And the reply is, yes, we do. We've always had 2 doctors for each home game, one on the bench and one for the players, and one behind the stands who acts as the crowd doctor. But both would help out in emergencies if needed. And the person goes on to say that she believes all clubs in the EFL and above have 2 doctors present for each home game who have to have the ATMMIF certification from the FA. So they're not just any old doctors. All the above teams would actually travel with a doctor as well on the coach or on the plane. And at academy level, they always have to have a doctor on site from games from under 9s all the way through to under 23s.
Yeah.
So once again, you wouldn't realise that if you didn't do the research on it first of all, but you just don't know who these people are standing around, do you?
No.
And
I dare say that they're obviously employed by the club full time, I guess.
Of course, yeah.
And get involved with transfers and all sorts of things.
Well, you see these people sitting on the benches and you think, what are they? Well, 2 of them are doctors.
Yeah.
So that's all I found out in my research.
You wanted to speak today about heart issues.
I did. Yeah, because
how can I help?
Well, I think I actually sort of research heart issues more than I do lung cancer issues.
Yeah,
and I think it's probably because my good old buddy has got it. You see, it's quite interesting, and I mean, people don't like to trouble their doctors. I mean, there's some people who are always on the phone to their doctors. Other people don't want to call their doctors, and I looked up this little topic. And it's for people with heart issues. And when should you contact your doctor?
Yeah.
Well, new or worsening symptoms. And it's better to get the help that you need.
Symptoms?
Symptoms. And don't ask me who the symptoms are.
Okay.
A cartoon family in America.
Okay. Do you want to start again?
Yeah.
Go.
So when should you contact your doctor? When you get new or worsening symptoms.
Symptoms. I can't get over that now. No, symptoms. That's all right. Symptoms is fine. When you get worse.
I'll start it again.
Oh, go.
When should you contact your doctor? Well, the obvious thing is when you get new or worsening symptoms.
That's easy for you to say.
It is.
Go on in.
So it's always better to get the help that you need.
Yeah.
So chest pain.
Yep.
If you develop new chest pains, let the GP know so that you can be assessed. And you may be then referred to a cardiologist. Some things may not be serious, but it's better to get them checked out, especially if you notice the pains are getting longer. You may even have to get your medication adjusted.
Yeah.
So,
Is this for somebody who's never had heart disease or heart problems?
I think this is someone who's got the problems.
Yeah.
And this is just to show them what they should do if it happens. Because as I'll go on further, it will tell you, if you're getting them the pains longer, but you'll hear as I go on. So breathlessness, call early, because it's not unusual to suffer from breathlessness. Do you suffer from that?
Yep.
Yeah. So everybody knows. So when you have your heart troubles, once again, you may have your medication tweaked.
Yes.
So do you get it tweaked?
I haven't had it really tweaked since I've been taking it 14 years ago.
No.
I did after the second heart attack. I went 40 milligrams of statin up to 80 milligrams, the maximum dose you can have. So
that's another thing I've been looking into, statins.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a little thing on that one day. And one of them mentions the statin in it that I'm taking.
Yeah.
So, but that'll be another day. So, breathlessness.
Yep.
We've done.
Yep, we've done that one.
Fluid build-up.
Yep.
You may get... Have you had that?
No, touch wood, not yet.
Good. So you may get fluid built up in various parts of your body, but usually in your feet. And you can get it in your ankles and your legs and sometimes your stomach. So call your doctor straight away and you'll probably be prescribed water tablets. Diuretics are one of the medications, but obviously others are available. That's what they always say. If the fluid doesn't leave your body, you may need to go to hospital for stronger medication.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's always the problem, isn't it?
They always check my ankles and feet when I go for my 12-monthly checkup.
Do they? Yeah.
It's one of their checks.
Well, that's why they're, for the water. I remember they did that for me in hospital for my lungs and all that. And the doctor actually used to ask me that every morning when he used to come around. So palpitations.
Yeah.
You don't get any of them?
Not really, no.
No. Although it's unpleasant, they are harmless. I would have thought a palpitation is a little bit of a problem, but apparently they're harmless. Lots of people living with heart conditions have them, you see.
Right. I think it's more of an anxiety issue, isn't it, than a heart. I'm not sure. Don't hold me to that, but yeah.
But you have to let your GP know if your palpitations change.
Right.
So going from a little one to a huge one, that's going to be the thing to do. But most people, this may mean that the palpitations last longer. Sometimes you may suffer dizziness or fainting. So that's something to watch out for. And you may be referred to a cardiologist again if this happens. And you may have to undergo an ECG.
Yeah.
So which we spoke about a couple of weeks ago, didn't we?
That's correct, yeah.
Any other reasons to call your doctor is if you've not had any notifications of a test. We spoke about that with Shirley, didn't we? She was not doing all her checkups, and I'll be asking her in a few weeks' time if she's done anything about that.
Yeah, interesting to find out. Shirley, if you're listening, we are watching you.
That's right. So if you haven't heard up, make an appointment. That's the best thing to do, and follow it all up. The pandemic meant that several appointments were cancelled, what they're talking about. So rather than wait for a call, set it up again, because you can be on a mailing list and then suddenly not, because it's all been messed up. If you're waiting, always check that you're still on these books, because a clerical error may have occurred where you've been taken off. So remember, call 99 in England, or 911. 999. Yeah, 999. Or 911 if you're in America, if a chest pain comes on and won't go away, a pain spreads to your arm, neck, jaw or back, severe difficulty in breathing or you're gasping for breath, and sudden numbness or weakness in the face or the arms or the legs. Or lastly, you get sudden confusion or trouble speaking. So they're all the times you should really call your doctor. Yeah. As I say, some people don't like to. Some people do it all the time, but they're the times. So I hope that's a few tips for you if you do suffer from heart problems.
Well, just add to that, really, if you're talking about a patient who's already had heart disease or stents or whatever, one thing and another, we do carry with us a GTN spray. I've been carrying one around for 14 years, not the same one, I have changed it. And the instructions on that is if you get a chest pain, take a dose of that under the tongue, and if the pain doesn't go away, take another dose. And again, if it doesn't go away after the second dose, then call an ambulance as the suggestion. So we do have a GTN spray that we should be carrying around with us.
Which we all know gives you severe pain in your head sometimes, right in the middle of your forehead.
That can give you a headache, yeah.
Because I had it. So when I had that, which we spoke about in another podcast, I suspected. So
the thing that a lot of heart patients suffer with is angina, and there's two types of angina actually. There's angina and unstable angina, and these two types you can be diagnosed with. For instance, stable angina is more common and has a trigger such as stress or exercise, and normally stops after a few minutes. So that's what we call stable angina. Unstable angina is more serious, are more unpredictable. These may not have a trigger, and they can continue for much longer, and also even while resting they can come on. In unstable angina, what can happen is blood can clot the artery. Typically the artery will have plaque build up that has narrowed the vessel. So so you get two types of angina, and that's what most heart patients suffer with during the course of their illness. And of course, if you're suffering with them now and haven't been diagnosed, then it's important to go and get checked out, because obviously there's something going on there that needs investigation.
So the heart attack is completely different from the angina, isn't it?
Well, it is to a certain extent, because angina turns into a heart attack.
Right. Because
or can turn into a heart attack.
Being a non-sufferer, I just want to get that right in my head, and it might be other people's heads as well. Yeah,
and then of course it can also become a cardiac arrest.
Now that's what I get muddled up with cardiac arrest and a heart attack, don't I?
Yeah.
I've often said, someone's had a heart attack and it's been a cardiac arrest.
Yeah, and they're two totally different things. And of course, once you have a cardiac arrest, you're out. You need immediate attention and care. That's where the defibs come back in, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Which we're going to talk about in another episode, how to use a defibrillator.
Right.
So,
good.
Yeah.
We've had a few messages this week on our podcast.
All good.
And I've had one from Kim. Hi, it's so nice to talk to people who understand. I have a lot of support, but still feel alone. I was diagnosed with colon cancer in April 2022 and had surgery to remove half my large bowel and 20 lymph nodes. They found 2 of them had cancer. Did 6 months of chemotherapy, but midway the scan showed it had spread to my liver. Put chemo on hold and had liver surgery. Then restarted chemo. 3 months later, scan showed another spot on my liver. Had another surgery. 5 months later, I was told it's gone to my lung. It is so hard to stay positive at this point, but I choose not to give up. What do you say to that then, Martin?
First of all, really, really, really sorry to hear about that. And I like the very, very last line that she's determined not to give up, because I think some people possibly, would have done with your condition, but you are fighting the fight, and someone who really, really deserves to beat it is certainly you, my love. So I send all my love.
That was from Kim.
Yeah.
Nikki says, I had a niggly pain in my chest nearly all afternoon. Not crippling, but I'm aware of it. Spray eased it. That's the GTN spray, I guess.
Yeah.
So the spray eased it for a while, but it's back. GTN spray under the tongue. Wait 5 minutes. We just spoke about this. If still there, another spray under the tongue. Wait 5 minutes. If still there, call 999. This is the nitroglycerin pill or spray. That's meant to ease the pains. We all carry that around with us. But the message there is, if the pain doesn't go away, 999. Don't try and get to the hospital yourself.
Or 911 in America.
Or 911 in America.
And unfortunately, other countries we don't know the emergency codes for, but you would know your own.
Martin.
Yes?
You're going to talk to me now about healthy foods.
Healthy foods?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my subjects that I detest. Healthy foods. Because if it's normally tastes nice, I know it's bad for me.
Yeah. Well, I go into Macmillan, and in the Macmillan Centre for all my treatment and all that. And I was sitting looking at some brochures and all things like that. And one of the things that I noticed was that they got lots and lots and lots of healthy food eating brochures. So what I thought I'd do over the next few weeks, or even longer if it goes well and people like the recipes, or they even want to send their own in, that would be fantastic. But they must be healthy eating.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. One thing I did notice, we've been into Macmillan a few times, Martin, and with the healthy eating thing, when you're in heart disease, they're saying no fats, no things like cheese, cut all this sort of thing out, chocolates and all that thing. What I noticed when I walked into Macmillan, there's a jar of sweets here, there's a tub of chocolates there, there's sweets there, and, it's full of sweets.
Well, they get probably given lots of boxes of chocolates and things like that.
Is that on your dietary list there? Can you eat chocolate?
It's not on my list, no, but I think a little bit wouldn't hurt, just for a little treat, because you're allowed treats when you do diets and do healthy eating and things.
Yeah.
But I mean, I did notice there was a couple of white chocolate ones on top of the sweets, but they've disappeared. They disappeared down my throat.
Yeah, that's funny, because I had one of those as well, so it must have been free.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Don't tell anyone.
So anyway, what I thought about doing was a few times is just giving a healthy recipe and different things I love. I love ice cream. Oh, I love ice cream, especially the swirly ones they put a flake in. But believe it or not, this is one that I found in a magazine the other day, and it was for a Christmas pudding ice cream. Now, we all love Christmas pudding and we all love ice cream. So if you're listening to this on a podcast, what I suggest you do is that you write down some of the things as I say it, but then rewind and then you can get the rest of it.
Or pause even.
Oh, yeah, you can pause it.
Yeah.
Yeah, forgot about that.
Yeah.
So we start with the ingredients.
Okay, make sure you leave a gap in between ingredients so you can...
I will do, Patrick.
Okay, mate.
Okay, so we have 2 ounces of pitted soft prunes.
2 ounces of pitted soft prunes.
Well, the gap so you can have a chat.
Exactly, yeah. So I'm just repeating it as they write.
Yeah.
Right. 2 ounces of pitted soft prunes.
3.5 ounces of mixed fruit.
3.5 ounces of mixed fruit.
10 fluid ounces of cold tea.
10 fluid ounces of cold tea.
1 tablespoon of mixed spice.
1 tablespoon of mixed spice.
I'll get fed up with you soon. Half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon and ground ginger.
Half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon and ground ginger.
Finely grated zest of half a small orange.
You mean that, didn't you? Finely grated zest of a small orange.
Half a small orange.
Half a small orange, sorry.
Thank you. 4.2 ounces of low-fat custard.
4.2 ounces of low-fat custard.
5 ounces of fat-free thick yoghurt, and that can be Greek yoghurt.
Yeah, okay, next one.
And 2 egg whites.
And 2 egg whites.
So that's the ingredients. So what you need to do is get all your pans and pots and everything out. So put the prunes and the dried fruit into a small saucepan and cover with the cold tea. Drain the fruit and put the prunes and roughly half the dried fruit into a blender or food processor with the custard and blitz until smooth. Transfer to a mixing bowl and fold in the remaining dried fruit and the yoghurt. In a separate bowl, whisk the egg whites into the soft peaks and fold into the yoghurt mixture using a large metal spoon.
Into what? Soft what? Soft peaks?
Peaks, soft peaks, yeah.
Right, okay.
That's where you put the spoon down and then you pull them up and they make little peaks.
Is that a soft peak? Okay.
Yeah, that's a soft peak.
I've learned something today. Carry on.
Yeah. Transfer to a shallow plastic freezer box and freeze for 1 hour. Stir gently, mixing the frozen sides of the mixture into the middle and return to the freezer for another hour and then repeat. The stirring helps the texture of the ice cream, you see, and then you can repeat this process until the ice cream is nice and firm. Now, here's a couple of tips for you. You don't need an ice cream machine for this.
Right.
That's fantastic because not many people would have an ice cream machine.
That's a good tip, Martin.
It is. The longer the ice cream is kept frozen, the firmer it becomes.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, that's a fact. It's best eaten within 24 hours.
What, the whole lot?
Yeah, well, it wouldn't last that long in my house.
Right, okay.
And if you want to get ahead, right, make the basic mixture to the end of step 3 and keep it chilled.
Ooh.
Yeah, and lastly, this is deliciously served with sliced pears and clementines and sweet black grapes.
Ooh, blimey.
Yeah, so there you go.
That sounds a bit exotic to me.
Well, when I read it, it sounded really nice, and I thought, right, I'm going to write that down, and I'm going to give that to our listeners. Thank you.
What did it taste like? I haven't made it yet. Here
No,
we go.
I haven't.
There you go. I knew that was your answer. Go, dear.
Don't tell me that's my task.
That's your task.
I said, don't tell me that's my task.
That is your task now. By the summer, we want a tub of that ice cream in the podcast studio so we can taste it. We can give it
Okay.
and we'll get a guest in as well.
Oh, that's a good idea. To
Can't we?
taste it.
Taste
yeah.
it, yeah.
Yeah, so if you live in England and you live near us,
Or if you live in the USA and you want to pop over,
yeah,
by all means, feel free.
we'll send you the flight times.
Yeah, brilliant stuff.
And also, we've been very lucky that the West Suffolk Hospital have let us stay on,
Yeah.
haven't they? So, and we've not had any noises. No phones have gone.
But before we tell you the serious news, we of course got to go for the
The joke of the week.
Martin's joke of the week.
So my mate took his wife and his mother-in-law on holiday to the Holy Land. Unfortunately, when they were there, his mother-in-law passed away. So the undertaker said, you can have her shipped home for $5,000 or you can bury her here in the Holy Land for $150. My mate thought about it and he told the undertaker that he would have to have her shipped home. The undertaker was surprised and he asked him, why would you spend $5,000 to ship your mother-in-law home when it would be wonderful to have her buried here and spend only $150? Like my mate replied, a man died here 2,000 years ago and he was buried here. 3 days later, he rose from the dead, and I just can't take that chance.
Naughty, naughty.
You sent me that joke.
Did I? Oh, right. Okay. That's brilliant, Martin. Thank you very much for that joke anyway.
Thank you.
Anyway, shall we concentrate on what we've got lined up this year? Because we've got an exciting year ahead of us, haven't we?
Well, we've got a regular podcast that we're going to do where we sit and give you all the facts and things like that, and possibly some more recipes. And so we'll be doing those normally, but we like to get out from our studio, don't we? Yours,
Yeah.
and or mine, and we like to get on the road
So next week we're taking a trip down the road to the West Suffolk Hospital
again.
where we this time will be in one of the offices at the Macmillan unit, Macmillan Support Unit for Cancer. And who have we got coming on?
We've got JP.
JP.
Yeah.
That's John Paul Holt, isn't it?
That's right. He likes to be called JP, though.
Yeah.
He'll be coming on telling us everything about Macmillan. Some people most people in England would probably know the charity. So we're going to enlighten you in other countries what this charity is and what it does. And we'll be asking him questions, won't we?
Yeah, Macmillan is one of the biggest cancer charities in the UK that needs a lot of support. And John Paul Holt, JP as we know him, is a Macmillan Cancer Care Navigator. That's a mouthful, isn't it? So I'll be interested to know what that exactly means.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he'll be telling us. So, and then we've got another couple of weeks later. We're going to come back.
Right,
Yeah.
to the West Suffolk.
To the West Suffolk. And we're going to be talking to Danielle. And Danielle, her role here, she's the Patient Engagement Officer for Suffolk NHS.
Oh, good.
And her role there's lots of things that I didn't realise that she sets up programs for people at home to help them get over their illnesses and with reappointments and things like that. So it's quite an interesting job that she does. And, and then also we've got my lovely cousin coming in called Karen. Karen's gorgeous and she's suffered from multiple sclerosis for several years now. So she's going to tell us what it's like living with it and how, obviously, right from the very, very start of it and what the future holds for her.
Yeah.
So looking forward to interviewing my lovely cousin.
Oh, so much lined up in the near term, and we've got some exciting projects that we can tell you about later on in the year.
Are we not allowed to mention where we're going tomorrow?
Oh, we are off to the BBC.
Again?
Yes, to discuss our podcast.
Oh, it's getting boring. Keep going to the BBC.
The BBC, hey?
The British Broadcasting Corporation.
We have to keep it clean, politically correct.
But
so we say that in unison. So that's it for today. Mm-hmm. What are you doing? What anything planned for the rest of the week? It is bright.
Do you know what? I'm going to after all the trials and tribulations of this blooming COVID with my wife and all that, I'm going to enjoy some home time, I think.
Yeah. Did you see? No, we never mentioned this in our previous podcast, did we? Did you see Forrest Gump in the end?
Well, you're not going to believe this. There I was sitting at home flicking through the TV mag, and one evening I suddenly saw Forrest Gump was there. 10:30 at night, so I stayed up quite late.
Oh, brilliant.
So I did actually get to see it in the end, so it was a thumbs up from me.
Do you know what Forrest Gump's password is for his phone?
I don't.
One Forrest One.
Wah, wah, wah.
I think that winds things up, don't you?
I think so.
Hey? But that's been a good one.
Yeah.
That's been a
See you next week, folks.
Yeah. You take it easy, everybody.
And
we'll be back.
We will, certainly.
Bye.
Bye.